HulaRides. I'm sorry. I keep doing that. Name of my business is HulaRides. Um, HulaG's Messy Family. Welcome, my family. Welcome, welcome. So today, I want to discuss a topic that I need your input on, okay? I want to discuss a situation that, I'm currently facing, or I'm currently in the midst of, I should say. And that is, when is it okay to go back? I'm considering going back to someone and rekindling an old, love. This, I will say, this situation was true love. This was, someone from the past where I know the love was real. And sometimes when you're young, you don't realize what you have. You don't always make the right decision. So this was a love that happened, in my youth. But I am considering backtracking and trying it again with this person because the love is still in existence, I don't know. I've always been the type where I felt like you don't go backwards. If something ends, then it ended for a reason, and you don't go backwards. So that's what I'm struggling with. But me and this person have begin to speak again, and we're talking, and I can honestly say that the love is still very much existent. So again, it's like, do I try again, or do I not go backwards? I don't know. I need help. I need help, family. I need help. So one of the reasons why I'm considering even, trying again is because we were young. When you're young, you make decisions that, aren't always the best. And, but one of the things that has me considering going back is the fact that the love is still there. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you were with someone, and you guys were together several years ago, but the love is still there. That's big. This person, okay, I was with this person when I was in my 20s, right? And when I tell you, this person molded me. This person is the reason why I have the expectations that I have in my connections now. I'm not going for this new millennium type of love. I'm not going for it, because I know the way that, you can be loved. I know what, it looks like when somebody loves you for real, when somebody loves you publicly. I've always been the type, I don't agree with, not posting your partner and hiding, because when it's real, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? When you have real love, think about it. If you and someone you're with truly love each other, what does it matter if you post each other on social media? What does it matter? That shouldn't matter at all. That should not have any impact on your relationship in real life. Think about it. Think about it. None whatsoever. So, I've always had a hard time understanding, why that is ever a problem in a connection. Be private for what? No, love is supposed to be loud and proud. What are we private for? So anyway, this person that I was with, in my youth, literally, in my 20s, that's how they loved me. That's how that person loved me. We were inseparable, guys. When I tell you, when you saw them, you saw me. When you saw me, you saw them. That is how we were. We were inseparable. We did everything together. and they molded me. So that's why, I give guys a hard time now when they want to date in secret or they want to have situationships. That's a foreign language to me. No. What do you mean? What do you mean? Situationship. No, we're together. It's you and it's me and it's me and it's you. What do you mean? Me and this person, when we were young, I mean, until we got our first house together, we ran up I know it was stupid, but we ran up our first credit cards, getting rooms because we wanted to be together. There have been nights we slept in a car together because we didn't want to say goodbye. We didn't want to part. We didn't want to, leave each other at night. So eventually, yeah, we were like, you know what? We just need to get a place together. And that's what we winded up doing. But this person showed me how to love. And I'm going to tell you something. The reason why our connection didn't work was because, we were young. We were in our early 20s. And, hey, he was a guy that moved like he was in his early 20s. He had some infidelity issues, but one of the things that relationship taught me was there is a difference between faithfulness and loyalty. There is a huge difference between faithfulness and loyalty. And we had the loyalty part. We had that. Because I'm going to be honest with you. There were times when, I would catch him cheating on me. And, he would literally, make the person that he was cheating. I have seen him make them walk from wherever I found him at, hey, that was it. that was it. And I'm not saying that I agree with that, but his actions and doing that showed me the loyalty part, although he wasn't faithful. But again, we were young. We were like 22, 23 years old. So he was still trying to find himself. But in doing that, one thing that he made clear was that he loved me. So fast forward to now we're 20 years, I'll just say, without telling my age, I'll just say 20 years, we fast forwarded to, and the love is still there. When we broke up, he went on to live his life, as you do. You have to continue living on, in your, living your life. And then I did as well. And, in the process of that, I had children, he had children. We, engaged in different relationships. So now it's like, man, it's so different because our lives are so different from how it was when we were in our 20s. We have totally different lives, So it's like, dang, can we really come back from that? Can we? I don't know. I wonder, I question. But it's like, we have began talking again, and it's like, we definitely still have a lot of love for one another. Right now we are both on the same page in terms of what we want. We want commitment. We want monogamy. We want, to put each other first. We want to, he's not opposed to marriage. He's not opposed to, you know what I'm saying? Just being all for and about, his person. And hey, that's what I've always wanted. And I think just the fact that we're older and more mature now, we already, we was all the way for each other back then. So it's like now, with the level of maturity that we've added to it, I can see this blossoming into something phenomenal. That's just how I see it, because now it's like, okay, now, we still want each other. We still love each other. We still have the potential to fall back in love with each other. And, now with the level of maturity that we're at, now it's where, we could have something I feel even better than what we had before, because our mental space is so much more advanced than it was 20 years ago, So I don't know. We're talking about, blending our families. We're talking about traveling. We're talking about, marriage. We're talking about so many things, all the things that, I want. And he's on board with those things, talking about, loving each other. And I'm at a point where I'm just, I'm ready to tap out of the dating pool. I feel like our selection of, companionship nowadays, well, in the area that I'm in, where I'm from, is just terrible. It's horrible out here. So, like I said, even though typically I don't go backwards, I'm like, in this case, it might just not, it might not be such a bad idea. It might not be such a bad idea. You know, everything happens for a reason. I just went through a situation that I am certainly running from. Like, I'm literally running from. Don't want to have any parts of it. Somebody hashtag key gone. Don't want to have any parts of it. So, this is definitely a great time for me to pursue something like this. Like I said, I just have always been kind of reluctant to go backwards. I've just always kind of been reluctant to go backwards. So, I don't know. I just thought I'd talk to my family, and see if you guys had any advice for me. Has anybody ever tried to go and rekindle an old flame? Somebody that you knew when you were with them, the love was genuine. I'm going to say that. If I didn't feel like the love was genuine, it wouldn't even be a thought for me. But I know this is somebody that loved me, without conditions. He was my best friend. We did everything together. Like, he was my best friend before my female friends. I would go to him. He was like my everything. And another thing, he knows me. He knows me. He knows how I am. He knows how I love. He knows that, I love hard. That, everybody else like, are you crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I'm just, I'm serious about my heart, But he knows all of that. So it wouldn't be a situation where I would have to reintroduce myself to somebody. Trust me, he know me. He know me. He knows how I love. He knows how hard I love. You know what I'm saying? Period. And that's what I need. I need for somebody to understand, the way that I love. Because if you don't understand it, like now I've been labeled as crazy, mentally ill, everything, just because I love hard. No, I don't play about my heart. You know what I'm saying? Period. And he knows that. So, I don't know. You guys tap in. Leave me some comments. Send me a message. I don't care. Let me know if you guys have ever been in this position where you had an opportunity to, you were indecisive, I should say, about maybe backtracking to an old flame, an old love situation. And what did you do, or what would you do? All right, family. Well, until next time, I'm going to hop off here. I was just riding and thinking. I'm outside, and I thought I'd just jump on live. I haven't did a live in about a week or so. So I thought I'd just jump on live and get some input. But until next time, family, I'm out.